The Galactic Council had unanimously classified Earth as a Class 5 death world. Every single living thing on the planet seemed designed to kill, consume, or poison anything else that moved. The council members shuddered when they reviewed the reports. Venomous snakes large enough to swallow creatures whole, flying predators with talons sharper than military-grade alloys, and microscopic organisms that could dissolve organic matter in minutes. When humanity finally achieved interstellar travel, the galaxy held its collective breath. These were the beings who had thrived on such a hellscape. What manner of monsters would they be? Captain John stood before the assembled council, trying not to laugh at their terrified expressions. The first human representative, he had been, briefed extensively about their concerns. His assignment seemed straightforward: convince the galaxy that humans posed no threat. "We understand your fears," John began, his voice calm and measured. "Earth is indeed a challenging environment, but you've misunderstood something fundamental about how we survived there." The reptilian delegate from Vex Prime hissed softly. "Your world contains apex predators that hunt in coordinated packs. Your seas hold leviathans capable of destroying vessels 3 times the size of our patrol ships. What could we possibly misunderstand?" John smiled and reached into a small carrying case beside his podium. "We didn't survive by being the biggest or the meanest. We survived through partnerships." He lifted out a small, furry creature that stretched lazily in his hands. "This is a domestic cat." The council chamber fell silent. Every delegate leaned forward, studying the creature with scientific curiosity tinged with confusion. "This," the insectoid representative from the hive worlds chittered, "is your apex predator?" "No," John said, gently setting the cat on the podium. It immediately began grooming itself, completely unbothered by the hundreds of eyes fixed upon it. "This is our house pet, and it's one of our most successful partners in survival." He tapped a control on the podium, bringing up holographic displays. "For thousands of Earth years, these cats have lived alongside humans. They protect our food, supplies from smaller pests, provide companionship, and in return we provide them shelter, food, and affection." The cat finished grooming and walked to the edge of the podium, fixing its gaze on the nearest delegate, a floating jellyfish-like creature from an aquatic world. It meowed once, causing the delegate to retreat slightly. "But surely," the crystalline representative from Beta Centauri rang like wind chimes, "this creature must possess some defensive capability. Poison? Armor plating?" John knelt beside the podium, extending his hand. The cat immediately rubbed against it, purring loudly enough for the chamber's audio sensors to pick up. "They have claws and teeth, yes, and they're remarkably agile hunters. But their greatest strength isn't in combat, it's in adaptation and partnership," the council murmured among themselves. This was not what they had expected from a death world species. "You see," John continued, standing and activating more holograms, "Earth's harshness taught us that survival comes through cooperation and adaptation, not just strength. We partnered with wolves to create dogs. We cultivated plants that would feed us. We learned to work with our environment, not against it." The cat proved his point by jumping directly onto the jellyfish delegate's hover platform. The delegate tensed, but the cat simply curled up and began napping on the warm surface. "Your reports show bears, sharks, and venomous spiders," the delegate from the warlike Ganak Empire growled. "You're telling us you made peace with these as well?" "Not peace exactly," John admitted, "but understanding. We learned their patterns, their habitats, their needs. We gave them space when necessary and protected ourselves when needed. We never had to conquer our world, we learned to coexist with it." The cat woke from its brief nap and began kneading the jellyfish delegate's translucent surface with its paws, purring even louder. The delegate actually seemed to be enjoying the sensation. "This is remarkable," the Vex Prime representative hissed, thoughtfully. "Your species evolved not as apex predators, but as ultimate collaborators?" "Exactly," John nodded. "And we'd like to extend that same approach to our relationship with the galaxy. We're not here to conquer or dominate. We're here to understand, to learn, and to build partnerships." The council chamber buzzed with discussion. The tiny Earth cat had somehow defused centuries of built-up fear with nothing more than purring and the occasional meow. "There will be a recess while we deliberate," announced the council's leader, an ancient being of pure energy. But it seems our initial assessment may have been incomplete. As delegates filed out, many stopped to examine the cat, who seemed perfectly happy to be the center of attention. John smiled, watching species that had never met before bond over petting a simple house pet. Later, as John prepared to leave, the Ganok delegate approached him gruffly. "My world has creatures somewhat similar to your cats. We've always considered them nuisances." John grinned. "Maybe you should try giving them a chance. You'd be surprised what happens when you stop seeing other species as enemies and start seeing them as potential partners." The delegate considered this, then actually attempted something that might have been a smile on his fierce features. "Perhaps you have a point, human. Perhaps you have a point." The cat yawned, stretched, and hopped back into John's arms, completely unaware that it had just changed the course of galactic history.